Good evening everyone and welcome to Access Paranormal. Now it's a little bit of a different show tonight. Jamie is here, but it's me, James, who's introduced us because we're going to have a little bit of a roundtable discussion, just talking about the various different experiences we've had, different things that we've seen, different adventures we've been on whilst we've been looking for different paranormal activity and things such as that. And just to give you a bit of background on where we are, we're currently in the cellar at Mill Street Barracks, the middle cellar, in the dark. It's very, very cold. The weather outside isn't particularly nice, and it's already a little bit spooky. And obviously, because it's us and we're all here, we've decided to sit in the dark. I'm sure there was just a noise then. I've decided to sit in the dark. We've got some cat balls around and various other bits of equipment. So we're going to see if we can get anything while we're having this conversation. But to start us off, before we do, we'll go round the table and we're all going to introduce ourselves. So I'll start with Jonathan, who's to my left. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, James.
And everyone's familiar with you, Jonathan.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
So how long have you been investigating the paranormal for?
Oh, 10, 11, 12 years.
And you're only 20 years old.
It all started when I was a child.
20 years old.
I remember my first experience with the pot.
So thanks, Jonathan. We'll continue. And then we've got the man himself, Jamie Williams, over there.
You taking the mickey?
I am taking the mickey. Jamie Williams, you've been how long have you been investigating the paranormal for?
It must be 20 years, mustn't it?
20 years. So since you was 50, is that right? Yeah. I'm not going to say this to anybody else. And obviously, Jamie, everyone knows that you are the founder and main host of Access Paranormal Radio podcast and everything such as that. And you've invested, and you're going to be talking about some of your experiences tonight as well.
Certainly.
And then who have we got next?
It's Marie.
Hello, Marie.
Of Access Paranormal.
And Marie, you have been involved, like Jamie, in paranormal for many years.
Many years.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. You
it's
insult me and Jonathan, but once it comes to the ladies, is this a bit
It does.
sexist?
I think it
Well,
is.
the thing is I'm not scared of you. I'm only joking.
I get it now.
And I can't see across.
Yeah, so I've got to my left of me, I've got Gail, who's been with us a very long time as well. Had a short break, but she's back and we've got lots of stories to tell, haven't we, Gail?
Yes.
And then
It's Lynn Murphy.
There's Lynn over there. I can
Yeah.
just about see you, Lynn. It's really dark in
Yeah, I
here.
know, I can't reach the table.
And Lynn, where have you travelled down from today, Lynn?
I've travelled down from North Wales today in Flintshire.
And you've been on the show quite a few times, haven't you, before? With
Seems
investigations.
like, yeah.
and an interview. And I'll tell you, with Jamie and I, when we did an interview when the show first started in
Yeah, that's
2020,
right. Yeah.
and it was that long we had to split it into 3 parts.
Yeah, when I start talking,
Yeah.
it just goes and goes.
We couldn't get a word in, could we, Jamie?
No. And then thanks, Lynn. And then next to Lynn we have Lee. Man, a few words there. Great introduction, Lee. That was great. Who've we got, Lee? Do you how long have you been investigating the paranormal for, Lee? Yes.
Roughly about 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
And your first investigation was here in Mill Street, wasn't
It
it?
certainly was, yeah.
Yeah, one of the ghost quest nights that we were doing, wasn't it?
It was.
Wasn't it a birthday?
it was a birthday treat,
It was
wasn't
my
it?
birthday, and it was when my grandson was born.
Yeah, it was his,
Yeah.
It was his 50th.
It's 50. I love the fact that everyone's gone older. And last, but by no means least,
We have Lewis Hayes.
we have Lewis Ayres, or Louis as it's spelled, we were saying before, isn't it?
No, I've been roughly doing it now around 3 years.
Yeah.
And similar to Lee, it
That's
was
when
on a
you got
ghost.
out.
It was on a ghost quest night.
It was,
when
yeah.
I was here.
Well, I thought the first time you came in here was actually on one of the what did they used to call
It was
them?
an open day,
It was
wasn't
a-
it?
Yeah, well-being.
Well-being and lifestyle events
Yeah.
that they used to have.
Was it
And you-
Ghost Quest then, or was it
Yeah,
Access
there was
Paranormal? Was it
a
just
mixture
on
of
the
both.
cusp?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
It's a
thought it was on the
crisscross,
cusp
yeah.
of it,
It was
yeah.
when you had the studio upstairs, wasn't
It
it?
was,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So I thought it'd be interesting. Now we've met everyone, and we are in, as we said, we are in the cellar. There's a little bit of light from one of the recorders, but other than that, it's pretty dark. And we will be listening out. And if anyone senses anything or feels anything or anything like that, please do say. Because we're not investigating, but sometimes as we know from experience, if we're talking and we're having conversation, we're having a laugh, sometimes that brings in paranormal activities. And I thought a really interesting topic to start on would be thinking about that and thinking about when paranormal things happen when you're not expecting it. What would you say, and a bit of an open discussion, has been the strangest thing that you've seen. What would you think? I'll start off with Marie.
I was going to say Jonathan, but
Or if anyone, everyone's joining in.
The strangest thing, oh God, we've got so many. Actually, I've got one with Gail, and it was when
I know what you're going to say.
on the table tip at the table with the glass.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
that myself, yeah.
Where was we for that?
Bake Up
Bake Up.
Theatre.
So Bake Up Theatre.
no.
Yeah.
Yes, and we
Was
have
that,
a
the,
little.
was that the one that we've been to before as well?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a little story about that one.
Yeah.
So briefly, we've come to the end of the night. We all had a fantastic time. We was a big paranormal group. We were all split up in different areas, and there was one group left, and it was Gail, Linda, me, and somebody else around the table. And because they were getting a lot from this glass spinning and turning, we all joined them. We had the cameras
called
running and everything.
Maria
didn't we?
name was, and she was an actress on the stage.
Yeah,
a
so-
dancer.
The information that she was getting from the glass moving was she was an actor.
Well, she danced, so that's why she was going around with the glass and
Yeah. So
twirling around.
it was, wasn't
Yeah,
it? And you was getting quite a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of response from
Yeah.
this and everything. So we all went and joined him and was watching it. And we was all in the dark, cameras running, everything like that. And
Did you hear footsteps there? So I'm really sorry to interrupt.
it's all right.
No,
Did you hear
I
a bum
did.
bum?
I did.
I did.
I just
So,
heard that.
yeah, did you hear
Brilliant.
that
This
there?
is-
Bum, bum.
I
It's good when
when
it
you talk.
starts
Yeah.
like this, isn't it?
Sorry, Marie. This is it's not us interrupting you. It's the ghost.
No, we'll
So-
stop as soon as anything like that. We're used to stopping. So what happened? This glass, and then they all said, "Look, we've got to get out."
Yeah, I didn't
It's
want
2
to
o'clock. Well, you didn't, because it was 2 o'clock in the morning. We all had to shut down. We had to get
There
out
was
of the
one
place.
camera working, wasn't there, Jamie?
Wasn't there, Jamie?
Mhm.
Right, I'll tell you a
One
bit about
camera.
that. So one camera working, we had it on the table, everybody was watching this glass, and then they got up and left, but Gail said, "Please do us one more turn."
Yeah.
And the glass
Went up
turned,
in the air and twirled.
went up
Right
about
up,
two,
down.
to about 2 inches one turn,
Yeah, it went up in the middle
twirled,
of the table.
and on its own, and straight down. Everybody seen it. We caught it
I've
on
got it
camera.
Jamie.
Yeah, we've got it.
We've got it.
Turned round. Jamie had stood in front of the camera. We never caught a damn thing. The only camera running, but all the group seeing the full thing happening, and Jamie was stood in
Never
front
happened
of the
since
camera.
I did. Now, while you're saying that, and we can hear some banging. Now, I've got a little interesting thing to say on this one. So, what happened there is you all saw it, but
Yeah.
then it wasn't caught on camera.
Yeah.
Now, how many times when we've been doing investigations and stuff, has something happened and you go, God, I wish we'd have got that on camera.
Yes.
I wish we'd have recorded
Yeah.
it. And we've had it, the night when we was in here,
When we was
and
in-
we saw that shadow thing, and we both
And
saw
the-
it,
yeah,
the figure
the big-
that came up,
Yeah.
and we didn't record it.
I'll tell you about
And
that.
sometimes you think, is it a deliberate thing there? Where where it's not meant
I
to be
think we do
seen.
that.
But what did it? So for you to see that, what did it feel like for you to see
We're
that?
still talking about
We
it
still
now.
talk about
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
one of the biggest
One of the
things.
amazing
I tried to
things.
dodge
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you tried to dodge it. Didn't dodge the camera though, did you?
What are you like?
So no, it was a fabulous. It was
Amazing.
we still talk about it to this day, like we do on a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But because Gail's joined us tonight,
Yeah.
I thought that was a perfect thing to bring
You
up.
was,
yeah.
I was going to say it myself.
Yeah.
And it's something that
Thanks.
it's something that stayed with you as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? Now, Lynn, obviously, I think you travelled farthest today.
Yeah.
Now, you have obviously been interested in the paranormal for many, many years.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you say if you could pick one thing that you think, God, that was really, really strange? What would you say would be that thing
In here actually.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff I've seen and witnessed
Yeah.
all over the place, all through the years, was I was listening to the interview you done, you put Liz on.
Oh,
the
yes,
the
yeah,
tribute
yes.
to
And I
Liz,
was
yeah.
listening and I thought, oh my God, because I remember that very well. And we had a party here. I think it was the 21st party, and all the families come and they split up
Oh,
into
that's
groups.
right.
Yeah,
Mm.
split up into groups, and we were in here. And Jamie, Jane was over here. I think Liz was over there. I was here to the left, and I had this young lady next to me. She was part of the party, and I could see Jane nodding her head to me for me to look at the girl next to me, this young girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at her, and she had something had took over her body, and it was like a weird, strange white blockhead, white square nose, and snarling teeth, and it was looking at me and snarling. And I looked at it, and I looked at Jane. I went, "Can you see that?" She went, "Yeah." And I think you've seen it as well, Jamie.
I'm trying to. I've
Yeah.
had that many
I
experiences.
know
I'm
Liz
trying to think
did.
of where-
I know
when it
Liz did.
Was that in here?
Yeah, and this
Yeah, I
girl
remember
looked
that.
at me with this. She was overtaken. She didn't realise it had took over her, and she said to me, and it was weird because she was saying it to me with this face looking at me, and she said, "Is everything all right?" I said, "Yeah, love, don't worry," because I didn't want her to be scared. It was the strangest,
Wow.
weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, but it's perfect. Is that you knocking?
I think it was.
That was my
when
chair,
you-
Oh,
yeah.
that
So
could
I
have
did
been
this.
this.
Yeah, I've got a
Yeah,
rocking chair.
it did sound like that sort of noise.
Yeah, so
But-
that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen here.
It's even better when everybody else sees it as well.
Well, exactly, that's the thing, isn't it, when
That
everyone
is the
else
best
sees
part
it.
of it.
Yeah. So we've got to my right here Lee and
Yeah.
Lewis. So you guys, I'm going to come to you guys in a minute. Don't worry. I can see Jamie looking at me there going,
I'm not worried.
I've got loads of stories. to tell."
No, I'm enjoying what I hear.
So what about you two? What was one of the strangest things you've each experienced or seen?
Mine was when we were in the little cellar. We were all as a group and we were down in the very far cellar over the other side of the
See,
building.
I know what you're saying here, but we've
Yeah.
got a better one, you and I, than this about a strange thing that we both witnessed. But I'll let you go talk about
Yeah,
this one
yeah.
first.
We were there as a group, I think it was Ghost Quest group at the time, and we'd all sat down and we were laughing and joking among ourselves like we normally do. And we sat in a circle. They'd had a carpet like put downstairs, and we'd sat in a circle. I couldn't fit in the circle, so I was like set back a little bit from
Yeah,
the next
you
two
was,
one of us.
Yeah.
And Liam was on my right hand side, I think it was at the time. And we were all talking away, laughing and joking and that, and we were getting some knocks and noises and everything, what was going on. And then something touched me in the cellar, and it put me right off out to leave.
I remember because I went up with you, didn't
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
And he was that startled.
Yeah.
He had his a box with all his equipment in it, and the box just flew all over the floor.
Yeah.
And he was trying everything to scramble. Remember, he was trying to
Yeah,
pick them all
yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's that
He just
fear
wanted
that comes
Yeah,
over you,
I was
isn't
like
it?
panicked.
Yeah.
I was trying to pick all the stuff
Yeah.
up and I just wanted to get out of the building.
We stopped what we were doing at that point. I mean,
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
called an
And
end
what,
to it.
and
like.
what about you, Lewis? What would you say is your strangest?
I've got two.
Well, just do one
one
for
of them
now.
being here.
We've got a lot of people to get around.
Okay, I'll
Pick your
say.
favourite.
I'll say in a cemetery, not far from here actually. I was walking through with my sister at one point, and we'd noticed what looked like a figure in the distance, and it was walking behind a grave. Now we were walking and looking at it, just
Was it
trying
like
to be nosy.
daytime or nighttime?
No, it was nighttime.
Right.
And once it had walked past the grave or gone behind it, it had disappeared like completely, and me and my sister were so confused as to what had happened, but we noticed pretty quickly that it was paranormal, because there's no way that you could have explained that.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it kind of is. It reminds me a bit like one of them. I'm not going to be hypocritical then. So two of mine. One of mine. We've all experienced things and different feelings and different, and it's hard to describe that. I think, isn't it? That when we're sat here in the dark and this room is pitch black, but it's almost you can see something moving that's darker than dark, and unless you actually see it, you can't. I don't think you can describe it to somebody. My weirdest one I saw was I used to do quite a lot of stuff down at a castle in near Derby, and we used to help out with events and all sorts of stuff. And we was there one night. And we'd finished. We hadn't even been doing. It wasn't anything paranormal. We were sat outside and we were just having a couple of drinks and just relaxing. It was a summer's night, and we saw a figure going across the lawn. And the best way to describe it is if you wear glasses and you get a smudge. It just looked like a smudge going across, and it went across the lawn, and there was an arched doorway that went into this part of the castle that was in ruins, and it went through there, and me and my friend were there, Paul. I think you met Paul before, Jamie. And we was like...
Is Paul the one with the
glasses?
funny hats?
The glasses, and that was Pete. Paul had the glasses on.
Got, yeah.
He used to work with me at the Citadel. Yeah. Anyway, and we went over straight away. Now, there was nowhere where anything could go from there, and it went in. And it was what you would describe as your typical... grey lady or something such as that, but it was weird because it didn't scare us, because we were a bit more at the time like, what on earth is that? It didn't spook us or anything, and there was a really strong smell of lavender, which we found out at the time there was just lavender plants nearby. but we definitely saw it, And I think the thing that's interesting is that from what everyone's saying, and I am going to come to you guys now, what everyone's been saying is when you're in somewhere, and sometimes you get this feeling, and I think it just comes with doing this kind of stuff regular, you know that something's in the room, and you can't quantify what it is, but you know that it's there. Now, with that, I'm going to hand over to Jonathan and Jamie to tell us about your top paranormal experiences.
I mean, the best one that I've seen, and quite a few of us seen it, it was the end of a night in a farm.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Being
I
there,
know which one.
being there all night, and about 2 in the morning, we'd had quite a bit of activity. All the animals were still in this farm. And I think it was the pigs that were next to where this happened. And they had like metal fencing around.
Yeah.
They'd been going mad near the end of the
The pigs.
investigation.
Banging the
Yeah,
walls
banging,
and
yeah.
Fences on the inside.
He was there.
And so it was quite a large group of us. We'd been in the barn and in the attic of the barns and got loads of good stuff. So we were at like the far end, and like that was like the base room, the far end. So we all went down, packed all our stuff up, and we were all walking down. Must have been, it was at least 20 of us there, wasn't there?
Yeah,
About
yeah.
20, 25 of us.
It was Lucy in that, wasn't it?
Yeah. So first group of us were walking back. There was me, there was you, there was Bill, Liz, Jane, and then
Lucy's friends.
Yeah, some of Lucy's friends, some of the girls. And as we got to where the cafe bit was, which was near where we were going out, Lucy had all the keys, so the main gate was locked. She'd locked the cafe up. She locked I think there was another bit in the house bit, so that was all locked up. And there was 2 giant perspex windows. These perspex windows, see, like that gap there?
Yeah.
It was as big as that.
I mean, that's
from
what,
that
like,
wall to that post.
It's like 2-3 metres that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was higher. It was probably to the ceiling, and not
So
just
that
to
was what, about 8 foot high?
And there was split in
15
half.
foot, weren't they?
Yeah.
What, were they like windows?
Yeah.
Perspex
Do made of
windows,
perspex. So that's where all like tables and chairs and stuff
Yeah.
were in that bit. So just as we got to it, it was like someone had punched the inside.
Wow.
And we heard it, and we all turned round, and you could see the window moving, vibrating like that. And we just stopped and we just looked, and we were just like amazed. Because you could clearly see straight in, and there was nothing there at all. Do you know what I mean? And there was that many of us there to see it. And you were like, what could do that? And then they had high chairs dotted around.
Yeah.
Well, the ones where you put the table on, they just clipped on.
Yeah.
Well, one of the tables came off the high chair, and it must have went up to the ceiling. So it's not just clipped off and fell off. Yeah. It's literally flew off up to the ceiling and then back down onto the floor.
Did we not go in? Didn't we go in?
No, we never. No,
we didn't.
No,
was that
no.
the second
We
time?
decided because the rest of the group had caught up, and it was Lucy and that. I think.
Ah, right, yeah. It was the second time we went, wasn't it?
And we decided that because that had just happened, and it was quite late, and some of the girls were quite frightened.
Yeah.
Because they worked in there. They volunteered in there, didn't they? So that was the reason why we went, because things had happened in the little cafe.
They asked us to go, didn't they?
Yeah, they did ask us to go. So at that point, we just decided that we wouldn't go in, and that we would just leave. But we did revisit twice.
Did it happen? Anything happen similar like next or not?
The next day we get a phone call. The next day or the day after we get a phone call.
A couple of days after,
and he was saying that when he went into that building, the cleaners were cleaning, and the phones were the hoovers were cutting off, and they were cutting off, and they were going to check what it was, and they'd been unplugged from the floor, from the wall. But not only that as well, but the sweets were all over the table.
They had like a little,
so like
they had like a small, so they had like a small counter type thing. You know, when they put the sweets, like they put the box of like, I don't know, Mars bars or whatever on the counter, still in the box. So you just take it out and pay for it. They'd come off the counter, they were all over the floor.
Strange, isn't
And
it?
they always put the chairs up on the tables,
Yeah,
and
they were all
some of the
down.
chairs were all down.
And Jamie, what about you? What's your one standout thing that you've thought that is really, really strange?
Oh God.
I mean, I know there's a lot. I mean, I can think of probably one of my strangest is actually with you when we very first started.
Go on, tell me what it was, because I mean,
when we
I've
heard
got
that
that many.
when we heard the singing, the opera
That's the
singing.
one, the Citadel.
Yeah,
We were sitting there.
and that was years. That would have been 20, nearly 20 years ago now. Well, 18 years ago it would have been.
We
Yeah.
were sitting in the dance room.
Yeah,
We'd never done a ghost. It was 2006.
2006.
2006 it was, because we were doing all. They were all some other sons.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Yeah.
At the end of the show, we decided to stay and do the ghost hunt.
there was only a few of us, wasn't there?
Well, Mark was there,
Carmel,
Carmel, me, you, and someone else. I can't remember
Gemma,
who it was.
Carmel's daughter was there.
Gemma, yeah.
Yeah.
And we went into the back, into the dance hall, and we heard this on the stage. You could hear it as clear as anything singing. I thought it was crying. You thought it was singing. We were.
It was like a wailing
that. It's
wail,
a wail,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Really, yeah.
So we all got up and went to the stage. There was nothing there at all.
And it stopped, didn't it, when we opened
Yeah,
the door?
it just as soon as we opened that door, because you could hear it as we were going
yeah, you
towards
could,
it.
yeah.
But as soon as we opened the door to the stage, it went.
Yeah, and it was a Monday. It was like a Monday night or something, wasn't it? It wasn't even a weekend
No, it was
or
a
anything.
weekday, because
It was a
we'd
weekday
done some
night.
other sons on that night.
But didn't you get a picture of the mirror where there was a
The
figure in
old
the mirror
fella
with a
with the
hat
cap on it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
remember
got
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
got
it was. That was.
Yeah.
Anything else that you've?
I think another one which was with you again, James. I'll tell this one quickly.
Oh yeah, go on.
Shadley Park.
Oh, with the footsteps.
Footsteps.
Yeah, that was.
Clear as
Yeah.
anything towards us.
Well, you know, I
Was
sorry
I,
to
was
interrupt.
I there with you, though?
No,
No,
what
just me.
actually happened was that night is we went out to do a recording and we went up originally to do one at the top of Village Hill, right? And when we got up there, it was windy and randomly there was a couple of people arrived and we couldn't use the K2 because there's that many like radio antenna. It was literally bright red. So we got back to the car and we said, oh, where should we go to? And we went to the gardens, didn't we? And we drove down there and it was dead quiet and I'll let you take it from there. Because it was eerie, wasn't it?
Yeah, we just thought we'd do an out and about. It was when we first started
Yeah, it was,
these
yeah,
shows,
yeah.
wasn't it? And we've done this out and about to Shadley Park. So if you want to listen to it, it's on Access Paranormal Radio's YouTube channel. So if you go there, you can listen to it.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
there?
I did that.
What was it like?
Like a tap
Like
on
a
the
tap
floor.
on the floor, yeah.
I keep seeing something out that's up behind
Well, I
you
was
with
just
that
going to
door.
say, as you did you like that, but
Yeah,
over that
did.
way.
Yeah.
Jamie, call out to see if anything.
Okay. If there's somebody here trying to get our attention, if you can, could you make a sound or do something to let us know you can hear us? Do you want to talk to us? Come make yourself known. Come and sit and join us in the conversation. Tell us your name. Do you have a story?
Did you hear that?
That was my belly
What
then.
Makes a change for me being
Yeah, we'll
James.
carry on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell the same stories again because I've done the one with when I was doing Dark Territories.
Yeah,
Sean.
yeah. But the footsteps
Don't
one
know
though, you
about
finished the
it.
footsteps. The
The
one
footsteps
with Shirley
one.
Park.
Me and you went, and
Yeah.
we were having a bit of a laugh as well, but it was serious as well. We were
Yeah.
doing the ghost hunts, and we'd heard about the lady who walks around there.
And the footsteps, that was the
And the
story, wasn't
footsteps,
it?
yeah. So we get to where there used to be. People from St John's remember in the gardens there was a pond
Yeah, there was.
with
yeah,
goldfish in
yeah.
it, and it's all been obviously paved over now. And we were standing. I think we were coming towards the end of the show. Really,
Yeah, we were
just
right in the
finishing
middle,
show,
weren't we? Yeah.
And all of a sudden you heard these crunching
Right.
on the leaves,
Yeah.
and it was coming towards us, and you could literally
And then you could hear the
you
footsteps,
could hear
couldn't you?
it. You could hear the footsteps coming. Yeah.
But we heard it, didn't we? Like literally
yeah.
in front of us.
Yeah, you could
And then when
literally
we
hear
got back, we listened, and it was a full moon
We
as well.
captured it.
Yeah, we captured
Yeah,
it.
we
It was-
captured it.
That was creepy, wasn't it?
Yeah. I've just seen something move across from the left to the right behind us, then corner of my eye
On
stuff.
the door.
Yeah. But anyway, well, what was my scariest one? I think everyone was the scariest one for me, isn't it? I'm
You
trying
can't
to
really
think.
pick
There's
scary.
that, no, I think
many,
strangest
isn't
is
there?
an interesting one.
Do you know what? I share mine all the time because we
Yeah.
host the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
I
you've
think-
got.
Yeah, I think we'll share. Everyone's heard my stories.
So
and
here's
it'd
one.
Be nice to.
Bit of a
A
slight.
light straight through there.
What?
Yeah.
Right behind me.
Yeah, a big white light,
Yeah.
like a whitey blue light straight through.
In this corner.
No, through the
Outside.
like
Oh.
as if it's going through
Oh,
the
it's
door.
not the cat ball going off, was it?
No, it's
No,
high
it's
up.
bigger
It's
than
about
that.
8 foot high.
You'd see the cap over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
it.
like
the
a
size.
foot off the top of the door.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's one in the corner. And
If there's anyone outside this door where you can see me pointing, might not be able to if you're outside it, but can you make a sound or do anything to let us know that you're here? Can you open the door? It looks like there's something going across that. You know the little hole? No, it's just me. Looks like there's something going across it. It goes dark and then light again. There is, because that light, if you look at that circular light there, it's like it's going dark and light.
I can't see because of the angle I'm on.
I can't.
Can you see it, Lewis? I don't know
No,
whether
I can't.
My head's in the way. It's like a little circular hole in the door. Well, keep talking.
Is that door shut?
Yeah, it's shut,
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I thought it was
I thought it was open because of
No,
the
it's-
light that we've seen on it.
Yeah.
No,
I thought it was through the hallway that we could see.
No, it's shut, that
Right,
door.
so must have just
Oh
gone past
my
the door
God.
then.
Yeah.
Disappeared.
Well, we can see that. I mean, where we all are, we've got a good view of this side.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really that cold in here at the minute, is it?
No.
No.
It's freezing over this side.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I've
Yeah.
taken my jacket off.
It's all right.
So just as a bit of a subject change, I think this would be an interesting thing, because everyone here has obviously done paranormal investigations for a long time.
Oh, could you hear something?
Was that me
Oh,
just moving
did you
this
hear
thing
that?
like that?
No. Wait a minute.
It's like a voice.
Did anybody? Did you, Lewis? Did you whisper then? Did
No,
you
no,
whisper?
no.
No.
If you're outside this room in the corridor, it's got lots of cold breeze coming here now. Or you're above us, can you make a sound and let us know that you're here, please? There's something right behind you now. I can literally see something there. It's like it's low down. It's not.
I
very
can feel
nice.
that breeze.
Right there.
I can feel the breeze right towards me.
And I've just got goosebumps now. Isn't it interesting what we were
James,
saying before?
Sorry, just
What?
move your arm up and down again. No, it wasn't you. Jonathan, you move. No, it
When he
wasn't
moved
you.
from there.
There's-
Have you got that?
I seen a shadow on the floor there then. And I
Right.
thought it
Oh,
was
you'll
you.
pick up.
It's
Yeah,
got-
the flame
Did
by
you hear
the
that?
door.
Yeah.
It was actually
I heard that.
behind me.
It's going
See,
through.
this is it though,
It's
isn't it?
freezing
Like we
now
were saying
behind
before,
It
what we
actually
do.
felt like I felt the vibration.
It's gone
of it.
very cold
Yeah,
next to
that's
me and
gone
you.
really cold.
Right next to me and you.
You
Yeah.
feel something?
Carry on.
Anyway, so
There is
well,
a cold
It's like-
after,
it's
yeah.
It's circling us now.
it's
Yeah,
has gone, but the
Right.
temperature has
Well,
dropped.
earlier on, James and everyone,
Yeah.
I nudged Gail because at the back of Lee, a big black shadow come and
It's
it looked like
freezing at the back of
at
me
the
here.
top. But
It's-
this was
it
at the
is
very
hot
beginning.
behind me,
Yeah.
ages ago.
Yeah,
Right.
this was ages ago,
Yeah.
like at the beginning when we was doing it, and it was over, and I nudged her, saying,
Yeah,
pointing.
you could actually
"Look
see the
in,"
what?
can't you?
Do you know what?
You
I
couldn't
thought
see the
it was
pull
no-
behind.
It's that cold, I can see my breath coming.
See,
Does
what's
it freeze?
really interesting
Yeah.
is that obviously we're looking this way, but I keep getting distracted by
I
this
do.
door,
Yeah.
like as
I
though
do.
there's something coming in and out.
What were you going to say then, Lynn?
What I was going to say was within the first 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I was getting energies from here, but I thought, what I'm like, I dismiss it. I
Yeah.
dismiss it because it could be anything. Could be imagination.
Yeah.
And I was waiting. But since then, it felt like something had touched my head. I thought maybe my hairs fell out
Yeah.
of place. See what I mean? I've got to,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
I could feel energies
Yeah.
between me and you.
Freezing.
Did
Right
you?
here.
Yeah.
Did you see me nudging Gail
Really
pointing
cold.
as well? Was
Yeah.
it that
See, I
at the
can't
similar
see that because of
time?
the
I
light.
think so,
Something
yeah.
right behind Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what we'll do is we'll carry on because it's that thing we was on about before, isn't it? Of we're not talking about spirits or energies, and then because we're talking about other things, they then start doing stuff.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you all, right? And feel free just to. I won't start with anyone particular. Just jump in. Everyone here has done a lot of paranormal investigations, ghost investigations, all sorts of stuff like that. What would be the one thing, and this is a bit of a change, on an investigation that you see someone doing and you think, oh, do not do that? What's the one thing that you just don't think you should do on an invest? Because I think that's really interesting because we always talk about what we do well, but things like behaviours or anything that people do,
Yeah,
you think you
behaviours
shouldn't
that you're
do that.
thinking.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Aggravating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taunting.
Disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
Yeah.
Aggravating.
I know
I've seen that a few times.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have.
Was it?
Yeah.
Cheat.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
But,
cheat.
why
No,
cheat?
yeah.
No.
That's the point. If you're
ridiculous,
trying to
yeah.
prove it to yourself, but why cheat?
Exactly.
Well, it might not be us. We don't cheat. It's not. I mean, what are you cheating? You're only cheating yourself,
Well,
aren't
yeah,
you?
absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, and you disrespect the people with you. especially if people are paying.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should never
Yeah.
do that because it's wrong.
But that's why
yeah.
some groups do it,
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
don't
they do.
they? And they do
There's
it.
a white light here,
I know
straight
there is.
above.
people-
I know there is. I've just seen something
Yeah.
go past that door now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
Caught
too.
my eye, I could
Oh,
just
I've just
lift
seen
up
it
and
again.
see
It's the
Oh.
energy building.
But you know what, right?
Yeah.
Go on. What were you
Sorry,
going
go
to
on,
Voice
go on.
Said
Yeah.
that. See where them two chairs are?
They've
You
lifted
can
them
see
up.
someone there
I
as
seen
well.
something moving from there come towards us past that door. And
It's
then
ju-
you
yeah,
said,
it's
I
ju-
see
it's
something
just
back
gone
there.
behind the door.
Yeah, it just
Well,
went.
it's come from by that
Well,
chair.
I went like that and then I nudged James and I've just seen it go behind and to the left.
Yeah.
Let's carry on talking
Yeah.
and see if it starts building up.
Jonathan was saying-
Sorry, go on, Jonathan.
Yeah, there was a group that was in. They were so disrespectful, but they weren't.
Was that the
What was
one?
that name?
I heard that as well.
Yeah.
Like a moan.
It was a Welsh.
Yeah, like a growl.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah, I heard it, yeah.
Remember?
Sorry.
Like a Welsh fella.
We're not going to get this story
So-
out.
Yeah.
Swearing. I mean,
Oh.
these people are guests. Paying
I
guests.
remember this because
Yeah.
I think I was in as well that night.
We were recording it.
Yeah,
weren't we?
that's right. I
we never
remember it. Yeah,
abused
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, we used it.
But I've seen loads of groups.
Really, yeah.
And you can see people throwing things and all the rest of it, and they're only doing it because they've had a quiet night or whatever. They want to make something happen for the guests, but
I
It's all
got
fake,
told by somebody who told me that they'd been with a group. I don't know who they were. And I wouldn't
Yeah, we
say
can't
they-
know.
No, I don't know. I don't know who they were, but they had caught them out with So you know when you get a doorbell and you've got the old one where it goes ding and you press it, so it's got a
Yeah.
little hammer, hasn't it?
yeah.
And they'd hidden that in a drawer and had it on the remote. So you know the door button.
Yeah.
And they were
Yeah.
pressing it, so the door hammer was going
No.
like that. Yeah,
way.
you think about it, because all it does is hit. It's like a knocker for the bell, isn't it? A clapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they caught. He said he'd heard it, and he thought it's too specific. This.
Yeah.
And it was only a small group they'd gone with, and I can't remember the group, but it was. I wouldn't say they're very well. It was more like a group of friends rather than an organised thing that they'd gone with. And and he went in there and found this thing in a drawer. So
I
it
remember.
was.
Sorry, James. I remember being here in Mill Street, and we were doing an investigation with these people.
What was that? Was that you breathing out then? Please tell me.
Yeah,
that
it
you-
was. I could hear.
Thank God for that. It sounded like a groan.
Edge black over there.
We were with these people, and I don't know who was here with us. I know that quite a few of us were here, and we were in what we call the firing range.
Yeah.
You were there, James, and we were getting the tapping,
I
consistently
remember
getting the
exactly what you
tapping.
mean. Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
it.
And I cottoned on to this, and
Yeah,
I turned
I
around
remember that
and
night.
I said, turn the light on.
Yeah.
Turn the light on, and let's carry on calling. If this is significant,
Yeah.
it'll do it with the light on. Nothing.
Yeah. I remember that.
Turn the
night.
lights off.
It starts again.
It was there
And
again.
it was on like a canoe, wasn't it?
Exactly,
That
yeah.
was right, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
And suddenly, those who were doing it left.
They did. I remember that night, yeah.
They left because they were caught, and that's where it's wrong. Thankfully, that was a private investigation.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It wasn't public,
Yeah.
and that's where it's not fair on people. Okay, we caught them, they went, but it's not fair on people who are paying, and then being dumped.
Yeah,
You see
absolutely.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
everybody does it.
No,
Because not everybody does
I
it.
think it's absolutely a minority.
When it
isn't
happens, it's disgraceful.
You know.
I mean, we have fun and we jump out on each other and
Yeah.
tap each. But that's when we're not serious. That's when
Yeah.
we're doing having our breaks and things like that. But
I can remember when we went to a certain place, we paid and we'd gone, and Marie was with me at the time. I don't know if you remember. I think we went Rochdale.
Was that that?
Rochdale? Yeah.
Don't mention where it was or anything.
Yeah. All right.
I know what you're talking about.
And we were,
But further out than that.
yeah. Well, the rest of the group went off and did their own thing. It was me, Marie, and we were in a certain place, and they were saying you could get this smell
yes,
of the can't go into too much,
Mhm.
but you
It
get
wasn't,
this
Yeah.
smell.
it wasn't a sprayer
because
fester, was
they'll
it?
know
Yeah,
exactly
certainly
who
was.
they are. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's behind the curtain, wasn't it?
Yes.
I remember
And
those.
we
Yeah.
found out that we had one of those things in there, wasn't it? And it was setting the K2 off.
Yes.
Um,
It It's
One of
the
those
ball
elec-
one.
Yeah, the electric
You know,
thing, wasn't it?
you know when you're in a science class and that, and
Yeah.
you've got
yeah.
and you get that
Yeah,
electric
that's
thing.
Like a
Charges
plasma
Yeah.
ball. isn't
Yeah,
it?
something
Yeah,
like that.
well, it was that, and we realised
Figured it
how
out
they were
on the-
doing it.
with the K2.
Yeah.
You could actually use the K2 to turn it on and off.
Yeah, and we spotted it straight
Yeah.
away
We
because
did.
I pulled you back,
Yeah.
and then you said to me, "Did you notice that?"
Yeah.
And then the smell, we realised there was
We
an air
pulled that curtain
freshener.
behind them,
Yeah.
hidden
Yeah.
behind it, and be
But-
pure.
Yeah, it
Saying
was.
all
Yeah.
that, this is over so many years we've had these
Yeah,
experiences.
Yeah.
90% of the time, we get a really good night.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
only,
And
it's only because you brought the question up.
Oh
that this
no,
is coming out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
the thing to say is with this, like you say, Jamie, is that practically everybody who you met out and everyone doing this is genuinely interested for the right reason, and they do it. You know, they spend a weekend, like it's a Friday night, we're here, it's cold and dark in a cellar, but we do it because we enjoy it. I think my
It's the
point
love
is
of it, yeah.
is if you're going out doing it and you're, you know,
Deceiving.
manifesting your own thing in whatever way it is. I don't mean like a spirit, but like, you know, make things happen. It's not convincing you, it's not proving anything and not convincing
It's not.
yourself. So you may as well just come in here and just waste your time. Can I just say it
And
feels
I-
really cold in here.
And I think if you're on a public investigation and you see that and you're a member of the public, tell the group, tell the people who are running the group, because they might not know
That somebody's
Yeah,
doing
that
it.
somebody's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want a bad reputation. They want
No.
the
Yeah, of
public
course
to
they
go
do,
with
have a
them,
good
and we
time.
want we all want the public to go with these groups. So if you see anyone deceiving you, because you're paying public, you're paying for an entertainment. You're not paying for someone to make things happen,
Yeah.
unless the people say we're going to make things happen to give you the scare factor. That's different. And we all know that it's got to be under entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it
it's
has
got
to
to be
be
classed as
yeah.
under
Yeah,
entertainment.
yeah.
You know, if I paid 50 quid and I caught somebody cheating, I'd go and say to them, a member of the group, that person's cheating, whether it's a member of the group or whether it's a member of the public, because it's not fair.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen
Yeah.
it with people.
Yeah.
No names, no groups mentioned, no nothing.
No.
And we're just the same. We're all the same. You go out, you either get it, you don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
We've all got
definitely.
the same mindset in that way. We sort of grew up with it all this together, haven't we? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people, some groups that I've experienced is they will move it to make an impression because they want to be the ones that's getting everything through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want people to think they can do it. And me, I'm like, I take my hands off the glass and I'm looking. It's obvious that they're doing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you
well,
can see it, can't
We
you?
do
Yeah.
that a lot, and I think,
I think-
Jonathan knows that
Yeah.
I was doing certain things to
Yeah.
eliminate. I know it is,
Yeah.
and I remember one of our very first investigations, Jamie. We didn't know each other then, and we was in Newton, and there was three of us. Yeah.
The town hall?
No,
No.
community centre.
Community centre, yeah.
And there was three of us left with this glass moving round, and it was going and flying around, and we was both new at this, and we both didn't know anything, even though we was in the same group. And then all of a sudden this other person moved away, the glass stopped, we stopped. And we only found out later because we both told the same story. It was me and you that was on the glass all those years ago.
Do you think though that sometimes with things like glass divination or people who are who are feeling as though they're picking an energy up or sensing something, I find it very interesting here because we know I've done quite a lot of research in the history of this place and we know it, and I always find it what I find really interesting if somebody comes in and they say that they're sensitive or a psychic or a medium. I love it when they come up with things that we've experienced here that
Yes.
people don't know about because it's not on the internet.
That's different.
Yeah.
Now, loads of people come in here and we've had it before where people will talk about the three-legged dog and the children and the soldiers,
It's all well known.
and that's all really well known.
Yeah.
But there's things that's happened to us. I'm not going to even say them on it because people
No.
can listen to them that we know of that we've had before where people have come in and said, I've seen this, I've seen that. Now that for me is quite compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I equally also think, do you think that some people genuinely believe that they're sensing this and seeing it, even if they maybe not?
I'm sure they are.
You know.
Because we had an interview with a fella down here, Chris.
Oh yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah.
The way he done it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because he was really good. I remember him sitting there and we were sitting here And he said, I can see this on the wall there.
Yeah.
And it was like pareidolia, really. It was
Yeah,
the way
it
he
was,
explained it. And we believed, or we thought, yeah. And he went, no, that's because. So, you know, you can believe in it and you can convince yourself it's there, but it's just your imagination in some places. So, I mean, if you think about between us all, how many years we've been doing it. If you calculated all this, it's on 100 years.
Yeah.
And that's just Jonathan's.
I knew that was I love you, John.
If you think about it this way,
freezing.
if you think of it this way though, we're paranormal investigators, we've experienced it for years and years and years. And you get members of the public coming in who've never done it before.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they've seen everything on the TV, and I'm not saying TV is bad for them because it's given them the enthusiasm to come with people like us.
Yeah, but there's an expectation there, isn't
Exactly,
there? For it to be,
they do.
Yeah.
They want all the
You think
bells
that
and
like
the
that.
ribbons
For
and
that
the
1 hour
whistles.
show, they probably recorded for about
hours
a week.
and hours
Yeah.
and hours.
And all
It's
piled in
yeah.
1
Yeah,
hour,
What's
which
it clear,
looks
just
like...
an hour?
Yeah.
I mean, because we're experienced, we know that we can go in this building and nothing of that.
Yeah.
Well, we've had
been in
loads of
Yeah.
nights
Dead
here
as
with
a
nothing
doornail.
to
Yeah.
haven't we?
Well, if
Yeah.
you go on your very first ghost hunt and you get nothing, 90%, let's say more, would be disappointed because they've never got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they would go back because they said, well, nothing happened, so nothing. They weren't deceiving us, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I come on a ghost hunt, if I came on a ghost hunt with you and I'd never been before, and we were getting this, 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 I'd go back and think, how did they get all that
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
one night?
yeah,
And
absolutely,
it does happen. We've seen groups come in and do that. They've had everything thrown
But
at
then
them.
people, some people are excited by it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely,
Do
of
you know what I
course.
mean? That they'll keep going back again.
Yeah, there's pros and cons,
And,
isn't it?
and if it's with the same people and maybe they're making it happen, I don't know. If they're making things happen and then these people keep going back, it's only when all of a sudden they'll go somewhere else or with someone else
And then cut them
and they might only get one thing or two little things and they might think, well, that was rubbish, that.
Yeah.
But that's reality.
I also think as well, you know, one of the things that I found when I first started kind of like doing this, and I was only 18, and I remember when I used to go out and I went out with a couple of different groups of things, and if there was some groups where there'd be a medium with them who would be great and they'd be dead supportive and everything like that, and they would just talk to you. And I always found that if there was a medium there who was quite, who did a reading and everything, I was in a conversation with a friend of mine about this, because if I kind of sense something, let's say I thought, oh God, you know what, I'm really sensing that there's like an elderly man over there. If the medium hadn't said about that, I would just think to myself, I must be wrong because they're a medium and they've not picked up on it. I think it's quite interesting. I've always found that quite interesting as well, actually. Because do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I ask Lewis a question? Because you're the baby of the group, really, aren't you, for paranormal investigation? You're not the baby. But
You are the youngest, Lewis.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
No,
You're the least experienced of us all, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful
Oh, I
way.
understand.
When you first came on a ghost hunt with us, what were you expecting from a ghost hunt or paranormal investigation?
I didn't really go with any expectations because I just wanted to feel what it was all about for myself.
And what made you want to go on an investigation? What made you feel you wanted
through
to do
personal
that?
experiences, because I've seen stuff that I couldn't explain within me parents' house anyway. And obviously with that one that I explained before in the cemetery with my sister as well, it's always been something that I've been interested in, and I was somewhat sceptical about, because you hear things from other people and whatnot, but I wanted to experience it for myself.
And you came with us. We were the first paranormal group you've been with. I don't know whether you've been with anyone else.
No, never again, or never since.
Yeah,
I've always been
What
with
was
you.
your opinion about us? And I'm not asking you. I want you to be honest with us. I don't want you to say, "Oh, you were fantastic for this, you were that, and the other." I want you to be honest with what it was like for you to come into a group like us, and what you felt like when you came that first time.
It was an interesting experience, because when we came to that open day, me and my partner at the time, Louise, we was in this room as we speak actually, and something happened that was behind me that was pointed out. I think it was by you actually, that you saw something behind me, and I could feel it, 'cause the energy there, it was like my chest was going inside, and it was quite a strange experience, but it made me want to see what else was around and whatnot, because from what your experiences were, and you gave a little brief introduction to it, it was interesting and intriguing, and it made me want to see what it was all about and how much more that I could potentially experience.
So when you walked away from that ghost hunt that night, what was it like for you then, as a first night experience? I'm going to ask Lee the same question.
It was quite a positive experience for me, really, because it was something that I've always wanted to do, and I had a good experience with all of you, and me and Louise at the time were obviously quite elated by it and wanted to come back and just experience whether we get something different or whether it would be quite similar the next time round.
And Lee, you've been with a couple of different groups, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you can identify from one group to another group.
Yeah.
And you've been going for 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
What was it like for you going with different groups? Did you find this group was okay, or you wasn't sure? Because we always say to people, don't just go with one group. Go with various groups, including us. If you come with us, go and experience with other groups as well, because we may not be their cup of tea. So what was it like for you? Because I think we were the first ones, where you came.
Yeah,
with.
it was the first ones I come with. Then, like I said,
You better say we were the best.
I was going to say it was. Yeah, no, I've been with a few different ones, and like I said, they were all expecting something to happen on the first night, and it's not going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, but no. And it was just the expectations of it. They thought there was something was going to happen in one room, and then they were saying like, "Oh, can you hear that? Can you hear that?" There was nothing happening. It was just dead as a doornail. But I've had more with this group happen. Like we've been here like a few times, and we've had stuff happen. And then, like I said, some nights we've come in, we've had nothing. It's been quiet. And then, like either one or two of us will come in by ourselves, and we've got loads, absolutely loads of stuff.
I was just thinking while we're talking about this. Do you remember that night? And it was a good few years ago now. And we come down here, and we was sat in this middle room, and most of us were all here, and there was something. You remember this, Marie, because we were sat next to each other. There was a shadow walking round. Do you remember it?
Yes, I do.
And it was tall.
Yeah.
And it came in, and we could see it, and it went round. But it was like as though it was. Well, I'm going to walk. But it was like as though it was walking and then coming round and then coming in. And going back like that, and it's like because we called it a watcher, didn't we? But whilst we was sorry to interrupt you there, whilst you was talking and Lewis was talking then with Jamie, just behind where Lynn is opposite me and Jonathan, we could see. What would you say they were? Like twinkles?
I'm going to say twinkles.
Oh, right.
Sparky.
Yeah, like very, very faint. So the wall's black, isn't it?
Like a blackboard.
And it's like a blackboard, and it's obviously very, very dark, but it was like little twinkles of light. Yeah. But it's where you are, Lynn, it's behind you, in that corner over there behind there.
Oh, well, I spun round in my head because there was a whisper here.
Yeah. We heard it.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear it?
Heard it.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't realise. I just spun around and I heard the whisper, a whisper in the ear.
Because I could see you looking there as well.
Right. Yeah, it was an actual whisper, and I was there looking and thought, what's that whispering? So I was trying to listen to see.
What I heard was...
I thought it was a storm. Oh, I heard like a whispering.
Yeah.
It's gone freezing there.
It has gone very, very cold. Now we're not quite near the end of the show yet, but we've been talking for nearly 50 minutes, which is amazing, isn't it? Really, when you think.
Not for us.
Not for you, Jay.
We've got Lynn here, so we've got another 3 hours.
Well, absolutely. So I thought it might be interesting because we've had discussions about various different things and things that we've experienced and things that we've seen and stuff like that, which is always really, really good. And I thought what might be good for the last part is if we're all really brave while we've been sat here and we've all been saying whilst we've been doing this that we're seeing different things around different parts of the room. So why don't we all go and take a corner of an area of the room each and call out and see what we get? What do you think?
Yeah.
We'll leave the recording in the centre. So let's...
That's would have heard the whispering and everything.
We'll all get a corner each.
Well, can I
Yeah.
go best as a corner?
No, we've got to
So
stay
Lewis,
here.
you can go there by the door.
Because I've heard
Good
the
come
whispering
with
and that.
ideas of being
But-
on your own.
Yes, I've seen the
Right,
big
so
shadow.
Jonathan,
And
Lee,
the
do
blue
you want to
light
go in
over
this
there.
corner?
Right. Okay.
Jonathan, where are you? Jonathan, you can, Jamie, you can go in the corridor outside. You
What was that?
can go in the corridor outside.
Let me get I'll take
It is
you
cold, isn't it? Right, so there we go.
So I'm going out here on my own.
Yeah.
And Lee is going to hide his phone so it's pitch black. Well, just go in the... James, just go in the door.
Stay in the doorway, though.
Right, so what we'll do is let's have a look where we all are. So we've got...
Who's
where's
behind
Gail?
you, James?
I'll go in the middle here.
What's that?
Who's behind you?
No one. Don't say that.
No. Get lost. There was somebody behind you just.
There's literally no one behind me.
Has somebody just walked past the back of James?
Alright, so
Was it you, Jonathan? I knew that somebody.
I'm trying to not swear at you. Right, okay. So, I'm going to start with me and then... Oh, that's you idiots. Right, so...
Startled me, though.
When I say go, we're going to start with Lewis. I want you to say your name and say where you are. Okay? Go, Lewis.
I'm in the far corner.
No, say I'm Lewis.
I'm in the far corner of the room near the door.
Near the door. Okay, who's next?
Jonathan, I'm in the far corner over here.
If somebody's moving round in front of me, you're not going to scare me. There's anyone there. That's even scaring me even more. No, I thought somebody was there. Right, who's next?
Yeah.
I'm next to Jonathan.
Oh,
in the middle.
the K2's going off and there's a red light on the floor.
full
In the
house.
pot.
Who's in that
Yeah,
far
it's all
corner
going
there?
off in the coffee.
Me.
Where's Lynn?
I'm here in this far corner opposite you,
And where?
where the Sparkies were.
So who's in that corner? Who's next to you?
I'm over here near the small room.
and I'm
near
Gail
the
in the
pot.
cot.
Near the cot, right,
So we've
okay.
got the
Jamie,
cot
where
and
are you?
K2's going
The
on.
K2's going off, okay.
What was that?
I've just seen my own shadow.
Right, okay. Right, so the K2's going.
The K2's going off, but there was also a red light underneath.
No, I've
the
got
pot.
the timer on the phone because
Okay.
of the show. And I turn around, I see my shadow behind me.
Well, Jamie, I'll tell you what, let's keep going and we can always cut out. You can always cut it out at the end. can't you?
I'll leave that part.
Yeah. Okay, right. Let's put the light off.
Right, it's
Jamie's
going
light
off.
off.
It's going off here.
K2's going off.
I'm stepping in the room because
So Gail's asking questions
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Right, so Gail, do you want to? Would you want to ask some questions and we'll see what we get on the K2?
I might have to cut you off though when we finish the show.
Okay, can we?
But we'll carry on
Will
the
the speaker
investigations.
get nearer? Or do we need to bring the speaker?
No, it's
across?
okay.
It's
okay.
Just come.
Did anybody just make a bump noise then?
Me,
I think it
I'm
was a
moving
chair.
over the
Don't go away yet.
thingy over there because I don't want it to go off again while I stand near it.
It's on for a minute, sorry.
I'm here. Can you see me?
I don't think anyone can see it.
I've just seen.
Yes.
What Gail?
Right, hold on.
Yeah.
not doing it now.
No, it's. I've just seen a flashing light under where you were stood
What
there.
colour light?
Like a white light, like a bluey white light.
Right.
Was it like
We've had
I
this
saw a
one.
blue white light.
Right, we've got 8 minutes or just under 8 minutes, so let's do some call outs so we can get.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are
okay.
you male? Are you female?
I don't know if we can pick you up again on the.
It's not answering now.
Jesus, James.
There's
moving on
somebody
in
at the
front
side
of
of me here. Hello.
thought you'd come over.
No.
Look,
Somebody at the
someone's
side.
here.
Right, Gail thought I was nearer.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
I'm going to just bring this over here a bit,
Yeah.
just so we can.
Okay.
I'm going to come in again.
Hello, who's around us here?
Hello.
No, car.
It's
Yeah,
going,
still
it's
here.
going.
It's
Hello,
going.
are you
What is
still
it?
with us?
I'll step
Are
away.
you male?
Are you,
Are you female? Are you male?
are you the baby here?
Are you the baby? It did answer that it said full house before when I said the baby. Are you a
Oh, who's touching me? I'm actually. Oh my gosh.
baby? Are you
A
touching
very
Marie?
small.
Like
Is
the
that
lights
a
up if
little
you're touching
child
Marie?
here?
Light the lights up if you're touching Marie.
Absolutely freezing here, you know.
I've got
Come
a
on,
little
don't
child.
leave us yet.
Hello. Do you want to hold my hand?
Use our energy.
Marie,
Oh my God, there's something
I've got
on
my
the.
hand
that door.
No, there's
that
something
door.
on the
It's all right, it's
floor.
all right, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay. No. I know exactly what you saw.
Oh my God, what was it? It was some.
It was crawling.
It was crawling.
Yeah, there it
was
goes.
It's honest to God,
Yeah.
that was me, and it's crawling. It's
Yeah.
not a child.
No,
It's
that.
not. It doesn't look even like a human.
It's that.
Yeah.
We've seen this before.
It's
I
that,
was like,
That
you
crawler,
know,
it's that yeah, it's that entity, yeah.
What?
You okay?
Something's near me, I'm moving away from
Okay.
Are you sure it's not the dog?
No,
No,
it's that,
this is
it's
not.
that thing.
I actually
No,
seen the
really?
shape of it after it tapping me.
When you've just come from there, seen a white
Yeah.
light behind you.
Yeah, so I had to move.
Can I just say that when we talk, just one at a time, so we
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
it up?
Well, it doesn't happen like that. Everybody's going
No.
to spooked.
Come back.
I saw it, and it went. But it was that crawler.
Yeah,
We've seen that
I've
before.
never seen that before, and it looked like a stringy arm.
Yeah.
It looked like a bony arm. Hello, did you want to get my attention? Because it wasn't human. I don't know.
I'm going to.
Right. What are you doing? Will you step back? What? Can you bang on the door or something? Why are you coming towards us?
To go to the. There it is again. It's down here.
Are you scared of this? Are you scared?
Oh.
It's stopped.
Can you
It's
know
scared.
what's happening, Lewis?
I've just seen it move again, I'm just moving back.
Come on.
What do you need? What do you want from us?
I'm going to stand over there.
Are you? What was that?
Did you hear that?
Did you hear
hear
that?
that growl?
I heard it.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a growl then.
I heard that.
Did you hear it?
I'm gonna. One moment, Gail. Let's just.
Okay.
One sec.
Wait to this.
So, what do you want?
I've just heard
it again.
Shh, let's listen.
Do it again, please.
Why are you growling at us?
What's that?
What was that?
Listen.
That was my belly then.
No,
That.
there's something creaking behind over there. Have you come down to see us because we've not all been here together for a while? Give us a sat. I can see it over there in that doorway. You can show me them things. Make a noise.
Do you want? If you want me to come forward, make a noise in that room. You tap me on the back. You tap me. Did you want me to speak to you?
Can you hear
Is anybody's belly or anything rumbling here?
No.
I heard like
Yeah.
another noise
No,
there.
yeah,
It was
I
in
did.
between me and you.
I thought it was here.
There it goes.
I heard like
Did
a
you
piano,
hear it? Yeah,
like a
I
piano.
did. Like a boom.
Yeah.
Right, this movement on the floor again here.
Yeah. What time are we on, Jamie? Sorry, just to check.
57. We're going to finish in a minute, but we're going to
Okay.
carry on recording.
Yeah.
So what do you want? Why are you here?
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you make yourself into a light form?
That was somebody's told me, but I had a boom before that then.
That was me.
Jonathan, we've
Okay.
seen this crawler before, haven't we?
That's the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
time I've
You've
seen
never,
it.
we've seen
No.
it, and Jamie,
I've
you've
never
seen
seen
it.
But I got tapped on my bottom.
The only time I remember seeing something was up in the top classroom, and it was coming towards me. If you remember rightly, and I said,
Well,
"Turn the lights on."
Who was in
straight
here
away.
the night where I know it was Jonathan because we saw it go across, and it was Liz. It was Liz Wire who'd seen it as well. It was Liz, yeah.
Do you know what though, James? We used to do the end room that James doesn't like.
Yeah.
When I first started, we used to go in there all the time, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's where I first seen this thing.
Yeah.
Right, that's the first time I've seen it, and I've seen its arm, and,
Yeah.
and everything reaching out at me.
It's
Do you need any help?
It's an entity, this, rather than anything. It's
Yeah.
an entity that comes in
Yeah.
because we're doing this, and it gets fired up by other things that go on.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought one of you was moving. I heard it behind you.
I spoke a little bit then,
Ah.
but I've just got a
The baby
random
stopped
pain.
now because of what?
Because it's
that
feared it
mean?
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you fearing the baby here?
Yeah, it's gone. The
There's a
last thing
noise
he
in
said
it.
was it scared when he had one light on, and that was
Oh, there it goes. It's back again.
Oh,
It's
it's
coming
back.
again.
Back again.
Are you
Hang
being
on,
frightened by
Is
this?
it that, or is it that thing that's near there? If that's you, who Marie's just seen going near here, come into this cot for us.
Did you tap me on my bottom? And
There
if
we
you
go,
did-
there we go.
you
No,
did,
it is. It's
was.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are we okay to talk to you?
Would you like us to not talk to you? Make that thing flash if you want us to go away and leave you alone.
Are you scaring the child? Are you the child?
If this is that crawling thing, it's like some kind
Are
of
you a bad
entity.
energy?
Okay, what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to finish the radio show now
Yeah.
because it's come to the end of the show. So I'd like to say to James, Gail, Marie, Lynn, Jonathan, Lewis, Lee, for coming along tonight. We're going to carry on doing this investigation.
It's been
because there's
eventful,
much
hasn't
happening.
it?
Has. So from everyone, we're recording this. If anything happens, we will put it on the radio. So from Access Paranormal, we'll see you again next week. Good night.
Good night.